Phoenix time, 8:30 California time, Pacific Standard Time. And my name is Omar. Happy New Year and welcome to another exciting Do You Really Know? We have a wonderful guest today. And just wanted to show you guys the temperature now. It's in the 50s. Here is a live weather map from the Glendale Stadium. Hopefully, this will load. It is in the 50s now, and you can see it's so cloudy out here. It's very rare that it gets this cold, but it was freezing last night and exciting to have this kind of weather once in a while. So, sure, you guys are aware of this stadium here in the Glendale area. All right, let me go ahead and play the intro, and you're going to find out who is our special guest. You know, it's Kelly, but let's find out. Kelly Stanka. All right, here's our special guest, Kelly, all the way from Arizona as well. All right, good morning. How are you today?
I am well, and I am with you. It was freezing this morning.
Oh, it is. It's in the 50s or in the 30s even last night. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So I think you're the first guest from Arizona, and that's great from this show. This is show number 11, and hopefully 2024 will be a good year. I have some creative questions for you, hopefully, and tell us how 2024 has been for you, and let me show the questions here in a second.
awesome. Yeah, so thanks for having me. This is going to be super fun. I'm so blessed to be the first guest of 2024, which I still can't believe that's happened. Where did 2023 go? um,
Exactly.
so this
That's
is going to be
awesome.
fun. And I do just need to say that my last name is Steinica. Um,
Signing.
it's hard for everyone, Omar, so don't worry about it. But I did just want
No
to say
worries.
it's
Uh,
Steinica.
Wait till
But
you see my last name too. Everybody messes that up. it's
yeah, well, and
it's
I figured
M
that's why you always have an M, right? No, you don't need the
exactly.
whole.
So that's why I decided to just put an M at the end there, you know. But I remember, and
No
then I
worries.
have other friends too who have longer names than me, and they say just call it a certain way. But yeah, you got to be open to that and make fun.
Right.
You know? So
That is
I, I'll,
exactly
I'll
right.
start. I'll tell you one more thing. I don't know if you know Kufi. Kufi also had a story about that too as well. So it's fun. All you got to do is laugh about it. That's it. So
Yes. Oh gosh,
we
yes.
we already have some audience here. So this is going to be on my other channel. Not the so we have the Zoom buddy, but we also have another one. I might change the name to make it unique. Right now, it's live interviews. Don Cohen was on that one. Leslie Flowers. We have a bunch of people there, and so this year we'll have more interesting people. And so let me just go to these real quick, and then we get to the questions. Sia, how you doing there? Hello, hello. Just stumbled in. Good to see you. She's a good friend. And then there's a Sue Dennis here. I think I've seen Sue before. I
Oh,
feel seen
yeah.
with last. I think she's from UK.
Love
Okay.
it.
All right. If you're ready or not, here we go, Kelly. Here's the questions.
Oh,
Question one. It's loading. Okay. What was the first job you ever had?
oh, well, my first job was technically babysitting in the neighborhood, but my first job at an organization was Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Oh wow, that's in Texas, I think, right?
No, Southern California. I
Oh,
worked what was called Center Ring, which is the outdoor games, and it was the best place in the park to work because it was right next to the dance studio.
oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, Sue is from UK. I remember she showed up on one of the shows, I think, with Rita or Matt Allen. Good to see you, Sue. Excellent. Okay,
Yes.
that's good to know there. Let's go to the next question. If you're ready or not, here we
Right.
go. All right, how many U.S. states have you visited?
Oh,
I've
oh,
been
I
to
don't
like
know.
13 or 14. How many have you been to?
I would say easily that. I don't know. Let's see.
You can count them out loud if you want. We have time.
I would say at least 20.
At least 20. That's
At
good.
least.
Almost
Yeah.
half. Almost half. Awesome. Can you name a few unique ones like Hawaii or Washington or what do you? What,
Yeah, been to Hawaii. Love Hawaii. Hawaii is probably my favorite island. Um, well, I drove cross country from California to Illinois one year. That was an interesting trip.
oh,
And the
wow.
only time that I ever visited the Grand Canyon, which was, and I didn't live here then, and I've lived in Arizona now for 30 years. So the only time I ever visited the Grand Canyon was when I did not live here.
Oh wow. That's that's interesting. Well, I grew up in Arkansas, and so we drove all the southern states, like a little bit of Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and then I've been in here almost 30 years as well in Arizona. So it's been a while. So
Yeah.
awesome. But I should visit more states, more in the north part. Really, I haven't been there, but more in the
I want
southern
to go to
part.
Montana, like Montana, Wyoming. Um, those just seem like beautiful. I mean, a lot of states, beautiful parts of the country, but those are two that I'd like to go to for sure. And
Oh yeah,
Washington D.C. I've never been to.
yeah.
Um, so
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, it would be. I always picture Montana as an empty place there, but I'm sure it's beautiful there. Like you can see the border of Canada. You can stand on the mountain and be like, "There's Canada," you know.
right?
All right, if you're ready or not, let's go to the next question. I am.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. All right. Okay. Do you remember your first video debut? The first time you did a video or you appeared on a video on LinkedIn or on other platforms? Do you remember that?
Um, I don't know if this was my first, but I kind of think it was. Um, and well, I was on a TV show when I was a kid. I was a guest. I wasn't on it as a
Oh,
regular, but I was on a kid show. Um, so that was the first television. And I was like 3 or 4. I was little. But
oh wow. Okay.
I think the first one, as far as business goes, was probably in the probably 2006 or 7. I was doing a web series, which was kind of ahead of its time, that was about marketing and other things associated around it. You know, hosting and all kinds of things with website building. Yeah, and it was at that time that I was like, man, I should have gone into journalism because I really loved, I love doing it. But the first time, for LinkedIn was with Don Cohen a year ago, almost a year ago to the day. My very first one was January 19th last year with Don Cohen, which
Oh
is how
wow.
we
Yeah, exactly. I think he mentioned something about that. That's awesome. But you got to send me later the link of that. Is that show still on, or is it a commercial that you were in when you were a 4 year old, 3 year old?
No, it was a kids show. It was a local kids show. I lived
Oh,
in Cincinnati, Ohio at the time, and it was called the Uncle Al Show. And one of my friends had their birthday party there. So a bunch of us went, and I actually was on a whole bunch of the things, the little segments of the show that they did.
oh wow.
Um,
That's
yeah, it
awesome.
was a blast.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say a little bit that I've always loved watching TV shows and talk shows, and so I even thought about doing journalism at ASU. I did my engineering undergrad at Arizona State, and then like
Oh,
five
wow.
years later, I couldn't find a job. You went there too, right? Did you go to ASU?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
I graduated like about 14 years ago, but then like 5 years later, I couldn't find a job. The Great Depression or there was an economic crisis that happened,
Yeah.
and I wanted to go into journalism because I loved watching all these shows, and I was interesting. And then when I met Don Cohen, probably in the springtime, I was like, wow, this is an opportunity. It's almost cost nothing to do your own show. And then there's even a post of me like in 2005 where I put a post of me doing a game show. And so I've always had that in me kind of thing. One thing I noticed here when I'm putting the comments, when I go to the profile, I do see the comments, but somehow they're not populating here because Omar the motivator says he does like the intro. And I tried to comment, but LinkedIn is being weird. We
Yeah.
have some other people here who like some comments. So I don't know if there's some issues going on, and maybe you've noticed that. We'll talk about your program later that you do with Christy, right? Okay, let's go to the next one here because this is a 30-minute show, and so Don Cohen's doing his show too now. So that's why I tried to make it this time And so, all right, let's go to the next question. Okay, best vacation spot.
Ooh. Okay, vacation, like just to get away, or best place like I've ever been. That's a hard
Like a vacation or best place too. I mean, place you feel relaxed. I guess we can say, maybe.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. One of my favorite places to vacation with my family, and just other was Kauai. I love. It's a much slower island, so the pace is a lot slower. It is definitely a place where you can unwind, and it's beautiful, and there's plenty of things to do, or not to if you choose not to. So
Awesome. I haven't been to Hawaii, but maybe one day. But I've been more of the states here, kind of thing. All right, let's get to the next question.
let's do it.
All right, and here's it. How did you find Donald Cohen? And I have a hat there for him.
I love it. That's
How did you-
awesome.
Like, how
Um,
did you? Were you like on LinkedIn one day, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I like this guy. I like what he's saying. I'm going to join him," or was it something else? That's
Well,
interesting.
I think I first connected with him probably in 2021. Now, I'd already been connected with him, but I connected on a Zoom call, and because I was seeing that he was doing something different, and that's where he spent that first year, posting every day, and that's how he got up to his 30,000 followers. And so I thought, I'm just interested to see what he's doing. We had a conversation then, and I just continue to follow him. And then come last year, because I had seen that he was starting to do these live streams, and I was interested, and had reached out, and we ended up doing a Zoom call. And I said, I'm just curious to see how what your thought process is for this live stream, and because I wasn't familiar with it from a LinkedIn perspective. And he was telling me all about it, and I was like, that's so great. And he said, would you like to be on in 2 days? And the thought of live actually scared me, like most, because live just sounds like, God, what if I screw up?
Yeah,
And all of those things. But I said yes before I had a chance to doubt myself.
yeah.
And so the commitment was there. And it was only 2 days, so I didn't have time to overanalyze or talk myself out of it. I did it. I enjoyed it. I haven't gone back and looked at the first one, but it's been because I would probably be like, oh my gosh, I can tell how nervous I was about messing up. But it's been so good for my life, just in general. I've met so many incredible people, you being one of them, and gaining a different connection with people through live stream, and also learning a whole bunch about myself. So that's a long story to that question.
That's beautiful. I'm going to get to it, but first, I just want to tell the people in the audience. There's a lot of people commenting. I see on the website. For some reason, it's not picking up. Try again, or if not, go to the link YouTube channel,
Yeah.
live interviews Omar, and maybe you can type in there, and we can see your comments. Because I'll go to the website here because I see Jackie. She's a good follower and good friend who does a lot of audio. As she said, come to Michigan in August for the meetups in Michigan. She's probably
Oh,
talking to me or talking to you, maybe. So she's good.
well,
I'm
either
good.
one.
Both of us, either. I have a few friends who are in Michigan too, so that's a good place to
Yeah,
spot. TJ is one of them from LinkedIn. He also works in my company, TTEC.
love it.
There's a couple of other people that I know here. Another guy, Osman from Nigeria. I haven't met you, but thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
But guys, yeah, do try to comment from the YouTube channel. That
yeah.
might be an interesting. Hopefully, we can get your comments. For some reason, we got like about 6 or 7 of them, and then they stop. And this is what happened when we did the live New Year's special with Matt Allen. So I don't know what
It
happened.
happens to us pretty often too. LinkedIn
Yeah, it's very
is
weird. Yeah,
quirky.
exactly. So I was gonna get so 3 years ago you met Donald Cohen, and then only last year is when you got on his show, which is like 2 years after, which is interesting. That's great. And then I like when I connected with people, Jamie Edwards and other people. Then I started looking on these weird events that happened, and I was like, "Well, Donald Cohen has a nice talk the way he does the show. It reminds me
Yeah.
of the old show that they used to do, Regis and Kelly and all these shows, right? I've always watched those since I was 10 years old, and so it reminded me of him. And then I know how Paul calls him Grandpa Don,
Yeah.
and he
I
has
love
this
that.
love of people and love of helping people out, which we
Yes.
need now in this world, of everything
Amen.
that's going on and world. And so he has this love for people. And so when I connected with him, he also within a week told me, "Let me put you on the schedule." So we love Don Cohen. So hopefully you
Uh,
can watch the replay. I know normally in the summertime we do it 9:30, which is your show is 8 hour time, 8 to 9. So it fits well, and that's why he was able to be on the show that time in the summer. So, but all right, let's go to the next one here.
yeah.
Let me remove this one. Okay, if I would travel anywhere in the world, where would I go? That's kind of related to the other question. But is there anybody in any place in the world outside of the U.S. you would like to travel?
Hmm. Ooh, where's a one? I've been to a lot of places. I've definitely been blessed to travel and see a lot. Um, gosh.
So, have you been to places that are outside the U.S. and maybe where have you been and what was your favorite place?
Ooh, I've got a couple of favorite places for different reasons. My one of them, and this is more because it's sentimental, but and it's a beautiful place. I went to Australia with my family for Christmas um, one year, and it was the last Christmas that my father was alive. So it sentimentally has a lot of a meaning to me, but also beautiful country. Um, and I think one of the other places that I will say is Venice. There's something about Venice that I don't think any video, any photo, anything, it's just magic. There's something about it that is it's in you can't describe it. I mean, watch I the first morning I was there waking up on the Grand Canal and watching it come to life, the sounds and the smells, the whole thing. It was incredibly beautiful and such a overwhelming sense of eye candy, for lack of a better term, because there was so much to take in, and just a really beautiful place. So, and I honestly feel like everywhere I've been has its beauty in its own way, and we learn from being in different cultures too, and I enjoy that part of it, just how people are in different parts of the world, um, because we all internally are the same. So yeah, I've been really blessed. And like I said, I can't think of somewhere right off the top of my head where it's on like the top of my bucket list.
Yeah.
I think I would like to go to Iceland, Reykjavik, just because that's super sound to say too.
I should have had a question where have you traveled? How many countries you traveled to in the world? Maybe I should have done that question because it seems like you're a world traveler, which is awesome. A lot of people, especially in America, they don't travel outside and see the cultures, and that's beautiful. Going to
Yeah.
Australia, to places in Europe, Italy, and we need to go out what we can. Now that COVID is long gone, uh,
Yes.
we can go out and just adventure. It's so beautiful out there to see the
Yeah.
different cultures and it's
So
different.
true. I will
Absolutely.
say
Okay.
the most unique place I've been to is my family went to. We went to the Soviet Union in the
Oh,
late 80s.
oh wow. Okay. Soviet
Yeah.
Union. Interesting. Like Moscow or which do you remember?
Yeah, we
Was
went all over. We were there for about 3 weeks, but
oh wow.
when it was still under communist rule, so it's obviously changed a ton since then, but
Wow.
that
Okay.
was a very interesting, an interesting thing, and to be a young person and experience it, it just made me appreciate, definitely what we have here in the States, um, to see what communism looks like in person, um, it's different, and so it was an eye opening, very educational uh, trip, but also one of those that I will never. All my friends were like, "Why are you guys going there?" We were like, "Well, why not?" I mean, and like I said, it was one of the most educational, and opened my eyes to a lot of things that I think are wonderful. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Were you guys like just a army family or military family, or just you just like to travel on vacation different places around the world? Just
just like to travel, no military, and like I said, that is a weird spot to pick. Australia, that seems pretty normal.
yeah.
But yeah, the Soviet Union, not so much. And again, but it was very educational, and it's a trip that forever, holds so many experiences that you would never get unless traveling does change your view of a lot of things. Like we were saying, the different cultures um, are very interesting.
That's awesome, definitely. I'd like to also say that Leslie Flowers, she wrote a comment, but we can't see it for some reason. She said, "Hi, Kelly and Omar, excited to be here." So good to see you here. I was thinking about refreshing, but I don't know if that's gonna do anything. Let me try refreshing real quick here. Hopefully, we can see it. Let me just refresh my browser.
Uh-oh. Well, Omar has left the building. So refresh. Um, there you are.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back, Omar.
Yeah, I refreshed the screen just to see if I can see all the comments.
Yeah,
And looks like they're gone now. All the comments are gone. So must be a glitch
it's
with
LinkedIn. It's totally LinkedIn.
yeah. And now it's not connecting it to it. I think it is now, but that's fine. Okay, we'll comment on your comments later. That's fine. Okay, we have a few more questions to go. Let me go ahead and bring in the source. Obviously, when you refresh, the presentation goes away. So I'll bring it back in here. There we go. And I think we were on. Let me just slide through these real quick. We did that one. We did that one. We did that one. We did that
Yep,
one. And I think there's two more. Okay, this is the easy one: ice cream or cake.
definitely ice cream.
Ice cream. What's your favorite? What's
Um, mm, I honestly really do like just a good vanilla. But if I'm gonna go big, probably a mocha almond fudge.
that's always good. Definitely, I like pistachio.
Ooh, that's good
That's just
too.
always good. Anything
Yeah.
with something in it. There used to be in Safeway. They used to sell this type of brand. It was a natural way. I think the name of it. It was almond and with vanilla, and it was so good. They had like 10
Yeah.
ingredients in there. But I
Yeah.
don't think they sell it anymore. They had different times. So, yeah. Okay. The next question. Okay. What is your favorite hobby and something you're passionate about? So there's two more questions. This one and then one more, I believe. Yeah.
Ooh, favorite hobby. Ooh. God, I used to be super into crafting, but I've not been doing that in a long time. Um, Something that I'm passionate about, so maybe this would go in. I don't think it's a hobby though. Is giving back to others, whether it's getting involved with local charity, being a mentor, that kind of thing. I'm very passionate about it simply because I think everybody sits on the sidelines and complains or criticizes things. And my feeling is, you know what, if we all did a little something to chip into our own communities, we help make positive change.
Absolutely. That's good. I like it. All right. Let me go to the next one. Okay. If I would invent an item to help mankind, what would it be?
Oh,
That's a kind of a tricky. So this question I give to everybody. Some
yeah.
people say kindness. Some people say cure a
Oh,
disease. Some people say stuff like that. So
I was just going to say that if I could put a button on people that would turn into kindness, that would be incredible. Or to stop them from being critics about everything. I mean, yeah, because mankind, I would like to invent something that just removes evil.
yeah, exactly.
And 'cause that goes along with the kindness, because that would help mankind, and just everybody being nice to one another. It's free to be kind,
It is.
um,
Yeah,
and accepting. You know what? Maybe also a way to for everyone to accept each other and understand that we all have different paths and we see life differently because of our journeys. So maybe being more accepting of one another and have more empathy and compassion for each other.
perfect. I love that. And then actually, there's one more. This is about now about you, about your program, and
Wow.
what tell us about your show and what you do. I know you do a show every Tuesday. It's called The
Yep.
Awesome Journey, and I think it's at 11 or 1 Eastern, 1:11 Eastern, right? 1:11.
Correct. So, and
Tell us.
I'm show 11 too. So, and the reason it's 1:11, it is the Awesome Journey, and it starts at 1:11 p.m. Eastern. And the reason it's 111 is for a couple of reasons. One is because 111 is representative of new beginnings. And I was always one that I'm like, meetings always generally last an hour. And at the top of the hour, things stop. And I'm like, I always need that little bit of time, to coffee, tea, or pee. So if we started at a time a little bit after, it gives people a little bit of a break in between a previous show, meeting, what have you. And also because it's different and memorable, and it means something to us. That's why the time was chosen. Um, yes, and the Awesome Journey. The reason that I started the show, to be quite frank, is one, I had the domain, the Awesome Journey, for a long time, And I knew I'd always wanted to do something with it in the podcast space because my feeling is, life isn't always fun and easy. And, sometimes it's downright awful and very painful. But nonetheless, the journey while we're here is awesome. Um, Even following those terrible times do lead to the most awesome and beautiful places. And the world, like you were alluding to earlier, Omar, there was so much negativity and there still is, and fear. And I just thought, what can we do to help people? And I had prayed on it, and then God kept leading me to talk to Christy about it. And I spoke to her and said, here's my idea of the awesome journey. She loved it, wanted to be part of it because she's the same. She's a pay it forward person and was trying to help as many people as she could in the job market because so many people were getting laid off and continue to do so. So we thought, by highlighting people and sharing their stories, generally from some kind of turning pain into purpose or some kind of trauma that they've had and they've gone to triumph, and how that would help inspire others because everybody's going through something. And then, quite honestly, it has evolved in a way that I don't want to say that I ever expected, but I'm learning so much every time we have a conversation with every one of our guests. And so it's been beneficial for me as an individual. I feel like I'm a better human from all the conversations I've been able to have, and just helping others and highlighting maybe topics that people don't generally talk about, and having real conversations about them, with real people. And I think that's resonating with folks. And I'm super excited about what we have coming up. This year we have a slew of more amazing guests. Um,
I was going to show you the show here real quick. This was
yeah,
from 2 weeks
thank
ago.
you.
So as you're speaking, I want
Yeah,
to play this, but it's going to play without this audio. You can keep going, please. Go ahead.
yeah. So yes, this is that Craig Sawyer, and this is a topic that, of course, is not a topic most people would talk about. But this was about human trafficking and child sex trafficking. And then we have a few people coming up this year that are going to follow up to this, a victim um, of trafficking and her story and her journey and what she does now to help others. Um, uh, I don't want to say necessarily, well, to help others recover and to help them move on, and also just bringing light to it because it's been kind of surprising to me that this is such a massive industry, but it's very rarely talked about. Like the fact that it's so silent is really shocking to me. Um,
Yeah,
but
and I watched this program. I was going to say, and it's shocking what he's talking about and what happens. It's a good
yeah,
thing that you're doing and making awareness to people of this. Absolutely. Go. Sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, that's perfectly fine. So yeah, so it's really just been about these stories because I think all of us, we all have a story to share, and it helps someone because everybody. I think there's such a connection with each other when we hear each other's stories because we can tend to look at someone or see someone's profile and we think we know them, um, but you don't really know what's gone on behind. And I think the vulnerability and truly helping people um, with mental health issues, that's been a core focus from the beginning. And we really kind of ended up being more in the lane of men's mental health, which has also been an incredibly humbling situation and topic to go into. Hearing all these, men that we think just because they're first responders, veterans, what have you, um, we don't think of them as going through some of the things that they go to, and sharing the rawness of their struggles. It's it changes your life, but I think it opens your eyes in a different way to remember, like, hey, we all need to look at each other with a little bit more empathy and compassion. So
I agree. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Definitely. Check out Kelly's show, The Awesome Journey. And I like the 11 time. I think that's catchy because people say it's a unique time. People can come in and see, oh, it's that time, and then I can. I usually try to watch when I can. I'm usually working, but if I have a little break, I'll watch here and there. And so it's a very good program that you started. When did you start the show? By how long ago did you start it?
We started April 18th of last year, so not quite a year yet.
April.
And
Oh, okay.
yeah, April 18th of last year. And we honestly, we put a date on the calendar and said that's when we're doing it. I didn't even have we didn't have a logo. I think I did the logo like the night before we were going to do a post. And the point being is I think it's so important, like just throw an idea, start something, even if you don't have it all figured out, and learn as you go. We definitely made mistakes, but we learned a lot along the way, and we had fun with it. Even our last week, we had major tech issues and our guest couldn't get on.
Yeah, I remember.
So we had to reschedule him, but it's like, you know what, you just got to learn to roll with it. Because it's not the end of the world if we do something wrong, or like right now the comments aren't working.
Yeah.
And that is a LinkedIn thing. That happens all the time, whether it's on, I'm on Dawn's show weekly, and now probably 2 times a week, and with the Awesome Journey every Tuesday. And Harvey, who has his show, I know many other people on their shows, they had issues with the comments, because I ask about it a lot too. Hey, are you guys seeing any of these issues? So, so thanks, LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot. Well, thankfully, we can go to the profile and they're not banning it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Times where I comment on people and I wonder, did they see my comment or not? And then I
Yeah.
go from my phone, they see it from the phone, but then on the computer, they don't see it for some reason.
Yes.
There. It was very weird like that. And so, are they skipping me? And they're like, no, it's the computer doing that. It's like, and then the next day it works. I'm like, what happened?
Yes. Yes, because yesterday I kept getting errors on LinkedIn even to get on things, and I don't get notified because I even on people whose bells I ring, I don't get notifications on an occasion, and I'm like, how can I not get a notification when I have their bell rung? I should get it every time.
Oh, you're right.
So,
I want to say also, Leslie mentioned something about Italy. Italy's nice. She wrote it on the comments in the actual post. So I'm glad she mentioned that. Maybe she has been there too. But too bad they can't tell us. To know in the YouTube channel if I'm able to comment here. So let me just say hello real quick and see if we can see it. So I just put a hello there. That's not even coming in here. That's so weird. So there it is.
Oh, there you are.
The YouTube channel is working, but somehow the LinkedIn people are not able to comment. I'm gonna just comment real quick, and we're just closing up the show here. Just have a few more seconds here. We always go a little bit over, but that's okay. And I'd like to thank you. Tell us your closing remarks, and thank you for being on the show for 2024. We're gonna have more guests next week and after that from all over the world. And so tell us your closing remarks here. As we close, after you do that, I'm going to play a quick song. It's very wonderful, called Get Healthy, Get Happy. And then we'll talk in the back after that. So go ahead, your closing remarks, Kelly.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me, Omar. I'm so grateful and blessed to be the first guest of 2024. And I wish everyone a very happy 2024, prosperous health, wellness, all those good things. And then please do join the Awesome Journey every Tuesday at 1:11 p.m. Eastern Time. And like I end on Dawn Cohen's show all the time, I will use it here as well, because I believe when we put positivity out into the world, it comes back to us and it trickles into the world. So please go out and shine so bright that others can't help but shine too.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Yeah. Take care of yourself, guys. Have a good evening and have a good day. Smile at somebody, like Don says. And let me just play this real quick, and I'll be back with you shortly. Here's a good, pretty fun song, and has a nice, catchy one that I found from a friend. So let me play it. And
get healthy, get happy. Everybody jump up and down, get healthy, get happy, I say. 'Cause when your body's busy, then you're buzzing, so get healthy and happy today. Get healthy, get happy.
All right, excellent. All right, guys, see you next time. Thank you for joining us. Kelly, good night. And I'm going to be with you shortly. Take care, guys. Goodbye.